So at the risk of losing you, the viewer, right at the top of this video, I want to start with the metaphor of the holodeck. If you're not familiar with the holodeck, just stick with me for a minute and it's all going to make sense. So Star Trek is a sci-fi show, and the holodeck was a place that people could go and they could program into the computer system any environment they wanted to lose themselves in, or they could program in any person that they wanted to meet and be with. And that was supposed to give them some psychological comfort during all the years that they were out there exploring space and not back at home on Earth or wherever planet they were from. And I think that can be somewhat of a useful metaphor for us now in our daily lives, because there's so many ways that we can access pleasure for no work, for no effort. And part of me worries that that's a really big trap, and it will let us lose any chance or any hope that we have to find real meaning and real value in what we're doing. Now, let's take a few examples. A really simple one is food. A lot of people now in developed countries, they have an overabundance of food. They can eat anything they want, as much as they want, anytime, and they have plenty of disposable income, so it's reasonably easy to buy that stuff. So if you engage in eating anything you want, anytime, your favorite foods, you sacrifice your health. You sacrifice your energy. You subscribe to addiction, dopamine hits, making your body feel that sugar rush, or whatever it is, whatever flavors, whatever taste that you're after. Let's take another example. Let's talk about creativity. Now with AI, AI can create for you a song. AI can write your story for you. AI can paint your picture. So if you type in a prompt and do it that way, with just a few clicks and just a few seconds of waiting, you've actually sacrificed your own creative potential. Your creativity has gone off somewhere to die in the span of those few clicks. Let's go to another example. Let's talk about pornography, which nowadays has become even more insane with the integration of AI. Pornography is saying you can have an intimate relationship with any type of person that you want immediately and get the pleasure for no work. No work at having to build the relationship and overcome the disagreements and have the fights and have all the conversations and get to know the other person and have to learn to live together with the other person through thick and thin. You just get the pleasure without having to do any work. And that particular phenomenon, I think, has gone into hyperdrive now with AI, because AI is saying you can literally, with AI companions or whatnot, you can literally design the person exactly as you would want them to be, to pleasure you in just the way that you would like to be pleasured. And there's no work involved. It's just typing a few words, a few clicks of the mouse. So when you do that, you sacrifice, you give up your chance to develop a real relationship with a real partner in this life. And if you happen to have one already and you're still doing that, you might destroy the real relationship you already have with that person. So you could reverse engineer all of those topics that I just said, and you could see how if we do the reverse, it's much better for you. If you choose to restrict your eating and follow a diet plan, even though it's difficult, you're going to be more healthy. You're going to have more energy. You're going to be more proud. You're going to encourage other people to be more healthy. If you access your own creativity and excavate your own internal architecture and experiences and pour that into your creative works, it's going to have that human touch that other people are craving for nowadays. People are going to find your work much more relatable, and they're just going to love it. And you'll be able to resonate with people with your shared humanity in your creative works. If you give up, for example, the pornography, focus on your real life relationships, even though it's hard, you're going to develop your people skills, your ability to compromise, your ability to have patience, to negotiate, to care for others, to sympathize, to be self-sacrificing for others. And you're going to develop a relationship with the person who will stand by you through thick and thin till the end of your days, and who will always care for you and love you in a very deep way. So I think you should sort of do an audit of your life. Look at the places where you're trying to access pleasure or get a result without having to do any work. And is that really helping you in the way that you think? Or is it hurting you more than it's helping you? I think you'll find that there's a lot of areas in life where this is happening. And it's kind of understandable. As humans in our psychology, we're sort of geared to want to develop habits where we expend less energy and effort to get a certain result. But in my opinion, if we can, let's find out how to attach this feeling of pleasure and happiness that we want to work. You see what I'm saying? Don't attach it to getting something for nothing. Try to habituate yourself. It is a practice. You can turn it into a habit, to the idea or the feeling that it is the work which makes you proud and brings you the pleasure and your happiness. Attach yourself to that, and that is not going to have negative side effects ever. Even if you've failed to get the result that you were hoping for, at least you put in work, which that builds you in a way, right? So you're not going to have negative side effects, and you're not going to have that feeling of emptiness. I think that accessing a lot of pleasure, especially with no work involved, is extremely corrosive to humans, spiritually, psychologically, and physically. Think of people who are super rich and don't have to work that hard. They blow all the money on parties or whatever and drugs, and they feel empty at the end. They have a serious problem there. Think about people who have a lot of power. People get drunk on power. They have a lot of power. They can exercise it over others however they want, and they don't have to do any effort. They don't have to work. They don't have to improve themselves to be able to get off on controlling other people with their power and suppressing other people and putting them under their thumb. So money, power, food, drugs, pleasure, sex, pornography, all of these things are kind of interrelated. These things are going to destroy you if you don't learn to put them in their place and attach your notion and feelings of pleasure to putting in real work that makes you better and lifts up your friends and your family and your community. Hope this message can help you, and I wish you a great start to 2026. If you want to jam with me in the comments section, I would love that, and I'll see you back here next time. Bye-bye for now.